Doechii. A name you all should know by now. We all love her. Or do we? Doechii has been getting an awful lot of hate lately, and I'm here to tell you about it. And you know, per usual, I have an opinion. So what happened, and why is she getting so much hate? Hi, my name is Alex, and I love gossiping. Doechii has been a prominent name in the music industry, with her first single Girls in 2016 to her latest EP Alligator Bites Never Heal and her single with Jenny. She has reached a peak on Spotify of almost 60 million monthly listeners with a song on Billboard Top 10. Well, here we already encounter the first issue. With a lot of success comes a lot of hate. Growing up in Tampa, Florida, Doechii, whose real name is Jayla, faced a challenging childhood. She was often subjected to bullying and struggled with self-esteem as a result. As a young girl, she found it difficult to embrace who she truly was and felt trapped behind the expectations of others. However, one decision flipped the switch. In an interview, she opened up about an important moment in her life when she realized that she didn't need to keep hiding behind the persona people expected her to be. One day, she decided to leave Jayla behind and become the eager and creative person we know today, Doechii. This new version of herself was fearless, confident, and ready to get to business. On the day she decided to become Doechii, she wore a ballerina skirt to school. She might have gotten bullied even more, but at this point she did not care anymore. It was a symbol of living life on her own terms. Because, fuck it, you only live once, she said. She was determined to make a life about self-expression, individuality, and embracing who she really is. This alone is a powerful move and a powerful way of living. It inspired a lot of people, including me. Later on, she went to an art school learning how to write and compose, so it was never really unrealistic for her to become an artist. Fast forward to 2016 and she released her first song, Girls, first on SoundCloud and a few years later on Spotify. But it was much later when she started to gain more attraction in mainstream media. With her first body of work, Coven Session Volume 1, she gained a lot of criticism. The songs were too short, lacking production, but lyrically, it was, even for her first project, pretty good. Just a few weeks later, she dropped Spooky Coochie during Halloween season. That and Coven Session sounded years apart in quality. A nice, unique, and very memorable flow. Great punchlines, double entendres, all this while still being at early stages of her career. Around that time, Doechii filmed a video where she candidly shared that she had been fired from her job and was ready to take an internship at studios and record labels.
So I got fired today. I don't give a fuck.
She admitted that with nothing else to lose, she had nothing holding her back from going after what she truly wanted. This raw honesty became a part of her narrative, reflecting her attitude towards chasing her dream and being the best at what she does. What's even more impressive is that she documented her entire early journey. That includes her now first top 10 Billboard entry, Anxiety, planning to release it on Coven Session, but ultimately not seeing the light of day until recently. But it was with her next EP, All the Places You'll Go, that gifted her her first appearance in mainstream media. Longer songs, better production, and less songs. The EP evolved around a theme of lacking parent figures, trouble with substance abuse, and early exposure to pornographic content. Most songs performed decent, but one song in particular performed exceptionally well. Her first TikTok hit, it was the title track of the EP, a song that explores her experience and achievements made during school time. This is probably her best song to blow up with, since the first part of the song is "Hi, my name's Doechii with 2 eyes," already starting off with a cute little double entendre. Over the years, Doechii continued to rise in the music scene, consistently collecting feats and expanding her reach as an artist. She began opening for major acts like SZA, exposing her to larger audiences. Along the way, she dropped multiple successful and not so successful EPs and singles. Despite the ups and downs, she remained focused on her growth because she knows she could do it. One of the most significant connections she made early on in her career was with her DJ, Miss Milan. A highly talented woman with her own unique style and energy, Miss Mulan became an essential part of Doechii's journey. Their collaboration was much more than just professional. It was a bond that elevated Doechii's live performances and helped her evolve as an artist. Miss Mulan played a pretty huge role in shaping Doechii's sound and style, offering support and guidance, and together they created an undeniable synergy. To this day, they keep their bond tight and still work together. Whether it's on stage or behind the scenes, Miss Mulan was undoubtedly a key factor in Doechii's growth. Another big milestone was her amazing BET Awards performance in 2021. It was amazing, showing the viewers her amazing live vocals and stage presence. Early 2022, Doechii signed to Top Dot Records, which turned out to be an amazing decision for her. Having more resources was really noticeable. Shortly after, she had her second big hit, Persuasive, released during the pandemic. People were in a depression of staying inside. The song was actually about going out, partying, and enjoying life again, something that people were yearning for. Not long after, she teamed up with SZA and let her hop on a Persuasive remix. A banger if you ask me. Fast forward to 2024 and she is working on the release of her latest EP, Alligator Bites Never Heal. In between, she released a few nice singles and even one with some pretty big success. What It Is, a song where she explored pop music to gain more mainstream attention, to go back and do her thing. And it did work after all. The story behind the EP is interesting. One day, she told her label that she would be releasing an EP in a few weeks, and they were supposed to do with that information as they pleased. The tracks consist of songs she made during her so-called swam session. Every Friday, she sits down to make music for at least an hour, and whatever comes out of it will be used. The EP features one of her biggest hits to date, Denial is a River. The track stands out with its classic boom-bap beat complementing her effortless flow and vivid storytelling. Her delivery brings the lyrics to life, creating a narrative that draws listeners in, making it a standout moment on the project. The EP also backed her feature on Tyler the Creator's latest album, Chromacopia, which also helped her gain more visibility in mainstream media, as she wasn't really that prominent during that time quite yet. But TikTok did its magic and made Denial is a River go viral. As I mentioned earlier, she recorded Anxiety a few years ago, and just last month the song boomed on TikTok again. You heard and saw the snippet everywhere. First as the Sleepy Hollow song, then the YouTube video, and of now the official song. She heard her fans and released it. Obviously it's not as good as her new songs because it's an old song, but even for 2019 Doechii, it's an amazing song. But ultimately, like any other song that goes absurdly viral on TikTok, it's gonna get a lot of hate. I find TikTok's impact on music to be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers artists the incredible opportunity to gain exposure without the need of a major advertising budget. Many up-and-coming musicians have benefited from TikTok's viral nature, allowing them to grow their fan bases organically. However, there is a downside. Both artists and labels have started to tailor their music specifically for TikTok. This often results in songs that are heavily designed around catchy 20-second clips, while the rest of the track feels lackluster and uninspired. Another downside of TikTok is that everything is insanely short-lived, if not handled correctly. A few examples that come to mind are Jack Harlow and Tommy Richmond, whose mainstream career was so short-lived that I had to look up his name again. It's clear that TikTok's influence is shaping music in a way that prioritizes virality of a little snippet to maximize streams over the integrity of a full track. That said, TikTok has undeniably helped launch the careers of household names like Doja Cat, Lola Young, and Yee, just to name a few. But it has even helped artists that have been in the industry for ages like Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, and Playboi Carti. These artists have used the platform to transition into mainstream culture and build significant followings, or increase them. While the platform can sometimes lead to using Blueprint for virality and viral tracks, it's also given stage to many to shine without the need for traditional and expensive marketing. But back to Doechii now. Now that we know the music industry's issue with TikTok, Doechii said it is somewhat explainable. First starting as a viral trend, everyone is doing the trend, and it does go pretty deep. One of the biggest trends of the past few months, to the song actually releasing and being pushed to number 9 on the Billboard 100. So what does this even mean? This song is overplayed, and even as someone who really likes it, it's majorly overplayed and gets so annoying. That leads to people hating it purely out of being annoyed. So now we have people saying it's not even a rap song and that her music is terrible and shouldn't count as rap. I don't think I have to explain why that's just plain wrong. But anyways, what do you think about Doechii getting overplayed and tanking so much hate? Tell me down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.